Good to see you, Emily.
Thank you.
First of all, I have to congratulate you for yet another accolade. I mean, USA Today just named you one of the best bars in the country.
Yes.
That's a pretty cool one.
Yeah, I wish I could change that title to honky tonk, but we will take bar for now and they'll learn honky tonk.
But it's so great. I mean, I was checking out the place in detail before you arrived, and there's so many awards and so many plaques.
Yeah,
I mean, it's an American institution, Emily.
it is. And sometimes Jesse and I were just talking about this, how sometimes we feel spoiled and like we don't forget, but we kind of take it for granted because we'll travel like, hey, come out and see this great band. And they like, this is the best band in whatever town. And we listen to them and we're like, oh my gosh, like it just puts in perspective how great we really do have it.
Absolutely.
And not only that, the quality of musicians that want to play here. Like we're so fortunate to have our bands and our staff that really give Roberts that seasoning of, walking into your grandma's kitchen feeling and like you're at home when you're here. So we're very, very grateful for that.
And everybody's really friendly here.
Yeah.
And you know what I also love when my friends play the Ryman?
Yeah.
No one even asks where the after party is.
No.
It's a given.
Yeah.
It's at Roberts.
Yeah. We had just funny story, and I don't want to put him on a spot, so I won't say his name, but a very famous musician related to Hank Williams,
Okay.
Sr., called and said, hey, I have a club opening on Broadway, but it's not ready yet. My daughter wants to bring some friends downtown, and every place I called wants a $5,000 like minimum for a table. And I just said, well, what do you need? Well, I just need a table for my daughter and Gwyneth Paltrow and her boyfriend to sit and have a sandwich. And I shut the balcony down.
Yeah.
Don't charge anybody anything. Just take care of the staff. Tip the band. That's it. And it's like, what happened to that? What happened to that? So people always say, how do you get so-and-so at Roberts? I said, I don't get them there. They show up because we treat them
That's right.
like they're human.
That's right.
Like they're just any other regular Joe unless they want the star-studded treatment. But I mean, it should be a place they can come just sit. Dennis Quaid has a staff shirt. And I said, why do you want a staff shirt? He said, so I can sit with my back at the door, eat a burger, listen to the music, and nobody bugs me. They just think I'm an employee and they keep walking. It's great. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the fanfare in just a second. But
Okay.
first, let me ask you about you, because I am so happy you're here.
Yeah.
Because you're a badass, if I may say so myself.
Thank
The
you.
fact that you help, with JesseLee, who we had last year, you helped
Yeah.
run this place, but you're also an incredible wife. You're an incredible entrepreneur.
Thank you.
You're an incredible mother.
Yes.
Like, you wear so many hats.
Yeah.
And like, I respect women like you so much
you.
in my career and
Thank
just
you.
overall. So I wanted to ask you, first of all, like, how do you do it? And you're here early in the morning.
Yeah.
You look sharp, ready to go. Like, how do you how do you do it?
Sometimes I tell people I don't know. They're like, I can't keep up with you. I'm doing good to get home and do a little laundry. And like, I don't know. It must be something I was built for. We say all the time, this industry is not for everyone. It's not even for a few people. It's for like the crazy ones that are built different, I guess, in that manner. I've always been driven.
And a great musician, I think.
Thank you. Yeah. No, that's okay. Yeah, I've always been the fourth of 8 kids.
Right.
And grew up in a home about as wide as this room and about 1,000 square foot, and there were 10 of us living in it. And my parents did nothing but work. They both came from broken homes and very rough raisings, humble beginnings, and so did I. And it's funny, all of my siblings are successful. They all have really great families. And I always got the older ones blamed everything on me, and I raised the younger ones. And I just remember always getting forgotten about or like compared to the older ones or the younger ones. And so it's been a balance my whole life to prove myself for me, because I do have a tenacity about me. Whatever I'm working on, I'm going to do it.
Sure.
I'm going to do it right, even if it's not for recognition by any means. It's just, and somehow that's paid off with where we are now. You know, it's funny how Jesse and I met. I met here at Roberts at a really low place in my life, and a musician that I met in Austin 12 years prior that was playing fiddle for Eddie Raven. Their bus broke down, and I lived in that area at the time. I was going to school at Southwest Texas, and I was on my way back home to Liberty Hill where my family lived, and a bus was broken down. Long story short, I loop around, loaded them in at Green Hall, down in New Braunfels, really close to San Marcos, and became really close with the whole band. And the fiddle player, fast forward 12 years, we hadn't talked in forever. I'm sitting in the back by myself, first ring, Nashville, and I hear Emily Hamilton, and I'm thinking, I haven't been Hamilton in a long time, you know. I was going through divorce, and this gentleman and I and his wife, now wife, and friends were all talking. Well, on the way out, he tipped the band on stage, apparently $100 to have Emily from Texas get up and sing. Pulled the band on stage. It was Brazil Billy, and as they say, the rest is history.
It's very well.
Jesse doesn't ever get just random people up, but they asked multiple times. On my way out the door, I told his bass player, I'm Emily, I'm from Texas.
Yeah.
I don't know who you guys are,
Right.
but you're great. And he said, well, can you sing? Can try. That's ultimately how Jesse and I met. I ended up doing his artist management for a while. Obviously, you know his story. He got really sick. I was through divorce, and so I started doing his artist management, finished his book, put a little incentive behind his record, and here we are. We've been married 5.5 years, and you know, we've known each other for almost 13 and been together about 9. Yeah.
Well, one of the great things about you, and we were talking, I just came back from Japan, and
Yeah.
everybody does everything so well.
Yes.
Like the attention to detail.
Yeah.
Like I'm inspired. Like I want to up my game, whatever it is.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
That is, I feel like, you know, with Jesse last year, we talked about how he does with the sand, with the bologna thing and everything. And I feel like you're the same. Everything you do is just like, I've never seen you or your reputation and everything is just like Emily, everything she does it A+. You know?
Well, you know, as I stated before, coming from nothing, my goal was to be not necessarily better than my parents were, but I wanted to work hard enough so that I could raise my family in a better environment than what I was raised in, but also to give back to my family and make sure my parents had more than what they were able to give us. Because all they did was work. All they did was work. You know, nobody's flawless. My parents both, you know, had their rough raisings and stuff, but they never gave up. They never asked for a handout. There was nobody to ask for a handout. So I remember being 3 and 4 years old, and people thought we were the rich kids because we went to a private school, but I was scrubbing toilets and windows and vacuuming the church and the school from the time I could be instructed to do so. And so we were the janitors, and we got made fun of, and I didn't care. We used to fight over Goodwill bags. Like, people from the church would give us bags of Goodwill donation, and my dad would not let my brothers hit us unless we had boxing gloves on. We literally would fight to see who was going to get the first Goodwill clothes before, the next one got. So
amazing.
I mean, I'm no better than anybody else. However, I hope that, you know, everything I touch leaves my hands better than how I found it. And that's just how I have been, and ultimately why I think Jesse and I get along so well.
And why this place is so successful. I mean, these things don't just happen in a vacuum.
No, and you know what I find ironic is, he doesn't like to say it, but I will say it. He's the most OCD person you've ever met, and sometimes I take stuff out of place and move it just a little bit, just to like keep him a little bit normal on that. Like, but Roberts is so not an OCD, like it, as he says, it's so wrong, it's right. Like the boots, they drive me crazy when they're not lined up, but if they were perfectly straight and not a little disheveled, it wouldn't be right. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just go fix the bar or you can't replace things. You only fix them if they're broken. And that's what makes it right. And we both get that. Like we love restoring old things and You know, before I did this as a single mom, I remodeled 2 or 3 houses completely by myself, ground up. I learned subflooring, almost lost a couple fingers, but I did it. Like, and neither one of us are afraid to work. We're very intuitive on just like figuring out the problem without, oh, let's just go replace it or just hire somebody else to do it. So,
Right. That's great.
yeah, no, it's just that mentality, I think, that helps preserve the integrity of what Roberts is, what it has been, and, you know, protecting what we feel responsible for, which is the music and the history that made Music City what it is today.
Is that why pivoting to the event? Is that why? Because it's a big undertaking.
It's huge.
Like running a thing like that, people don't realize the amount of work.
I remember Jesse saying, we ought to have a big old hillbilly party with some hay and a couple trailers and just like steel guitars up and down the street, just like crying in every bar that has open windows, like the steel guitar just whining through. And I'm like, you know, that'd be really cool. So, of course, the whole COVID, I hate even saying it because it was such a traumatic time for so many people. And, you know, so many people lost their lives during that time, and so many people were sick and displaced. And anyways, I just told him, I said, you know, on the tail end of this thing, not only is it 25th anniversary,
Right.
It's 40 years since you've been in the United States. And, you know, you feel like not only we want to celebrate, we feel like we owe to our fans, our patrons, the good, the bad, the ugly. We wanted to do something to pay tribute to Roberts. It's like, well, if the big names can do it, we can do it too.
Sure.
I mean, we're small taters compared to everybody else, but so we just started pitching the idea, and one of our ladies that works here, Julie Richmond, has been a huge blessing. She worked for different record labels, and she helps book our theater in Texas. She bartends here. She used to run the record shop across the store for us, and she just gets it. And so she said, well, let's go talk to some production companies, because we were going to do it all ourselves. So we ended up hiring this fabulous company to do it. We have like amazing, you know, staff that were like, yeah, let's do it. So we got the bands, we got the staff, we got the musicians, we got all the guest artists in like less than 6 weeks, and we shut Broadway down. And
it was a great success.
when we showed up, even I was like, I know this is what we signed up for, but it was just like, I was awestruck. You know, Jesse's like, where's the hillbilly trailers and the hay and the, you know what I mean? So we went back and forth. Like, we didn't realize, not that we were aiming for failure by any means. We didn't realize how huge of a success it would be,
Right.
and how many people would impact. So probably in like February or March of this year, everybody's like, oh, so we're so ready for the festival. And I was like, oh my gosh, we have to do this again. We have to. Like, let's make it an annual thing. We'll put it in our budget. That will be our advertising for the year.
Amazing.
And everybody says, how much do y'all advertise? And I say, we don't have to. And it's not a prideful thing. It's like, if we advertise, we couldn't fit anybody else in here.
Right.
You know? And so it's like, that is not only our advertisement budget, but that is our tip of the hat to country music
And to the community.
and to Roberts. And because we're so small, we feel like it gives them a huge space to come celebrate.
Sure.
Instead of trying to cram into our little shotgun bar.
Yeah, it's like Roberts is like a way of life more than a bar, you know? It's like a philosophy.
You know, we had this old oil man hillbilly that's still around. He still comes down from Indiana, Bob. And he and his wife, Celeste, used to drive down every single weekend to see my husband play. He's nuttier than a fruitcake. Always has, you know, tobacco juice and like little bitty, just like leather. And his wife's the sweetest little thing, and just so simple, and just humble.
Yeah.
And they drink and do their thing, and they drive back. They'd sober up 3 or 4 hours, and they'd drive back in their minivan. And one night, Bob got pulled over. Well, before that had happened, he was in here and he started blowing up balloons and made a bouquet of balloons that didn't float. And Jesse said, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Man, there's just a different air in here. I got to bottle up and take it home." Like he had been drinking. So he gets pulled over right before they get home. They're like 30 minutes from home. Officer pulls him over. "Sir, have you been drinking?" "Well, we were earlier, but we're fine now." So the officer goes back, runs his license, comes back up, and he's like, "Sir," and Bob had, ripped one open and just like letting the air out in the officer's face. No joke. And he said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Sir, this is from Robert's Western World. There's a different air in that place and it's going to make you in a better mood." Like, had this entire conversation about the air at Robert's. Not only did he not get a ticket, the officer escorted him home because he thought they'd still
The coolest thing.
shouldn't be driving from their alcohol consumption.
Amazing.
And like a fried bologna sandwich got me out of a ticket. When Jesse was in the hospital, I was flying from Austin to Nashville, grabbing things, going to Baltimore, 2 or 3 days in Baltimore, back to Nashville to drop things off back home, like doing the alternating weeks with my ex-husband. And, we talk about all the time how busy everything is and, nuts. So I'm flying down Bradley Parkway to I get pulled over doing like 75 or 80 in a 55. And the police officer, my husband's a Mason, or now husband, at the time, so the Mason, and the officer said, "Well, whose vehicle is this?" I said, "Well, it's my friend's." And he's like, "Well," so he starts asking questions. "How do you know him?" So he pulls up the registration. It's JesseLee Jones. And he says, "You know what?" And he said, "I love Jesse. I know he's been feeling bad. Fried bologna sandwich. Next time in town, just promise me I can have one on the house. And you just go, be careful, make sure he's taken care of." And it's like,
That's wonderful.
The reputation precedes you when you do things always with the right intentions,
That's
not
right.
for greed or self. We always say what we do is a labor of love for the community, because if it was for the money, we would have sold a long time ago. We love it. The amounts of money that have been offered for this place are
Sure.
insane. And we just thank you so much, but it's
Bigger than
not at all what we're here for. So,
and so the events. I mean, some people may be listening to this after it happens, but it's all ages.
it's all ages.
Free.
It's free, and we just decided this will be the launch of our updated YouTube channel. So it is going to free live stream on Facebook
Amazing.
all day.
Amazing.
We've got.
Link?
So it's Robert's Western World, and it's the Facebook, and I can give you the actual link if you want to put it on your podcast. Any of this is going to go up before that, but we decided to go live so that people could really see what it is that we're doing instead of just hearing about it. And then we will have, some goodie bags. We're going to do a silent auction. We've got a Gretsch hollow body. We've got a Fender. Oh my gosh, yes.
The guest list, the surprise guests are just sick.
Yes, no, and we've got 1 or 2 more that we're not going to announce. You just have to be there for. And we've got some really great announcements that will be historic for Nashville.
Oh, yeah?
And
What time will those announcements?
so we have been back and forth, and it's really just a balancing act, but it'll probably be at the 10 p.m. set when Brazil Billy goes on. Yeah.
Awesome.
So stay tuned. It's going to be a great day.
Well, thank you, Emily.
Yeah.
And thank you for what you represent.
Thank
for what you
you.
represent for the community, for what you represent with your spirit.
Thank you.
Because, like I said, Roberts it's really not a bar. It's a philosophy, and you live it every day with your family, with the way you are. And honestly, you inspired us, and you inspire me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Emily.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the interview.
Oh, always.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in. Click here to subscribe and get the latest from the show, including exclusive behind-the-scenes footage and once-in-a-lifetime performances. And as always, thank you for making J-Rock Concerts Media part of your day.